MCU fans, we are live. It's Armand here for E equals MCU, and um, not I say this a lot. It's not really that much news, but I mean, we got Spider-Man, brand new day news. We got some Punisher news, some Daredevil season 3 news, and of course, the first episode of Daredevil Born Again dropped. So, first thing I want to start with is apparently this morning and I haven't confirmed this yet, so I have to apologize ahead of time for going live with this. But apparently Keith David was interviewed and asked about his role in Spider-Man Brand New Day, in which he has gone on to deny. I guess, are you sure it was me? Like it sounds like he's playing coy. I need to go find this interview and find a video if there's a video of it, or just at least find the write up of it or something to confirm this. But like right before I was about to go live, I just saw a video that was done on that. So I I I want to confirm it first, but let me just say that Marvel actors lie all the time. That's probably supposed to be a big secret because of who he's playing in the film, and I don't think it's the Jackal. That's not what I heard. That's not what was said, and based off of the video I made and what was said, I can see them maybe wanting to keep that under wraps. So, but if they did, in all honesty, why would you use him for the voiceover at the same time? Like, but even in this new age, I guess Sony's still gonna Sony. I mean, hey man, that movie is about to be now. It went from them saying it was $1 billion film. Now they're saying it's a $2 billion film. And makes you kind of question which one will make more, Spider-Man or Avengers Doomsday. Which, speaking of Avengers Doomsday, I have not made a lot of videos about the leaks for Avengers Doomsday. It seems like every week there's a new plot leak to Avengers Doomsday, and I don't really know if I want to get into that stuff. Like, I think that's where you start messing with expectation of a film, and you get one of these leaks and it sounds good and you love it, and then when we get the film, if it ain't even close or anywhere remotely close to that leak, and you're kind of bugging out. So I don't know if I'm necessarily going to cover the actual plot leaks that just kind of tell the whole movie, but given the information of what we know, what's going on, I'll continue to cover that as news comes out. But it's been quiet, man. I think the film is done. It's in the can. I did hear something about reshoots occurring this year, in which I think they already did a round of reshoots. And reshoots is basically the scheduling blocking they got for certain actors to put it together. I don't really think it's the film was ever really done. I think that certain actors who couldn't make it to the first shoots will probably make it to this shoots, and they probably just do the shoots in like 3 waves. And they probably have some Secret War stuff shot, I would imagine. So like if you get a certain actor that that's going to be in both movies, you get 3 or 4 waves of reshoots. You're going to just shoot, especially since you got the same two directors shooting Secret Wars. They're probably shooting some of the scenes for Secret Wars when they get specific actors that they can get, and then you know what I mean. Like this whole thing is going to be just, they probably got 8 waves of reshoots for these 2 movies. So, and that's a kind of a way to kind of keep it under wraps to who's in what and who's where and what's going on too. So shout out to that. Man, I got to get back on Daredevil Born Again episode 1 again. I think it's better. I don't, you know, I don't, I'm not, a lot, I got to figure this, I'm going to look this up too. A lot of people, like I said, love Daredevil, the Netflix series. But I think, and if you go like by the Rotten Tomatoes and the ratings, what they like about the Netflix series was all an accident. People tell me they like the gritty feel of the first one, and this one is it's not quite that. And even if you guys remember back when season 3 was coming out and stuff, a lot of people As good as season 3 was, a lot of people was like, it's still not as good as season 1. The reason why everybody loved season 1 of Daredevil and Jessica Jones is because Netflix was, and I don't want to use the word cheap, Netflix was using some different kind of camera at that time, and the quality of the camera just wasn't as good. And you can tell right around that time when Daredevil and Jessica Jones dropped, they had started to make a lot of room. They were forging a road in streaming in the 2010s. And they updated. They probably got the red cameras, what they call the red cameras. I want to say that's around the time when those came out. And that's probably what they shot season 3 of Daredevil and season 2 and 3 of Jessica Jones. That's probably what they were shot on. I can definitely tell the difference from when I watched season 1 to when I watched season 2 and 3 when I went back and rewatched Jessica Jones. And then same with Daredevil season 1 and I believe season 2 as well with the ninjas was shot on those grainy cameras. And that's what they like about it. And I don't think Netflix did that on purpose. I honestly think that was just an accident. That's just what they had at the time. That's what they shot. If Marvel Studios is really, they have quality control, so to speak. And you can kind of tell in how they've produced and done their shows. Like I said yesterday, you can tell when they're shooting on the set and it's a controlled environment. It's not like a real apartment, or it's not a real, like for instance, Josie's. Josie's is different in Born Again than it was in the Netflix season 1 because they actually used the actual bar in Netflix for Josie's, and then in Disney's version they're using a set. They're not actually in New York on the streets on the set. So I don't know. If you go back and you watch those behind the scenes when they were reshooting the scene with Karen and Foggy getting shot and Bullseye, if you look at that, you can kind of tell that wasn't really shot on the streets of New York. And I want to say some of it probably was, but like a lot, seeing a scene of behind the scenes of this season where they're at Fogwell's gym, and that you can tell that is clearly on the soundstage. So I think that's the difference you're noticing. They do shoot like the BB report, and I think some of that stuff is really shot on the streets of New York, but it's very minimal. They did the same thing with Hawkeye. They shot a lot of that, or they shot some of that on the streets of New York, and some of that they used the streets of Atlanta to sub in for the streets of New York, like the whole car chase scene. So, yeah, that's just behind the scenes magic, I guess. I'm loving this first episode, the quality of it. If people say that this starts off slow, and I've heard some people say that it doesn't really pick up till the 4th episode, then wow, like I can't wait till next week to get 2 and 3 because and that might be why they're doing 2 and 3 together because they're slower, but man, I think that they found their groove. I think they found their stride. I think they know what they're doing, what they want, and we're in for good things for this season. And then going into Punisher, and then going into Spider Noir, and then going into X-Men, and then going into Spider-Man: Brand New Day, and then going into Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and then like it just goes and goes, and we're just gonna be eating all the way up until Doomsday. So that's all I really got for you guys today. Born Again season 3 confirmed to be shooting right now. Word is, and I've told you guys a million times at this point, we're getting Iron Fist, we're getting Luke Cage, we are getting Elektra Nachos back, or Elodie Young back as Elektra Nachos, and it sounds like they got a story. It's gonna have the Hand in it, so this might tie in. Oh, one other thing. So Spider-Man: Brand New Day, I did notice. I know that they're saying Daredevil's Born Again season 3, it's gonna be Cell Block D storyline. Matt Murdock's gonna be locked up. Here's an Easter egg for you. Go back and watch Spider-Man: Brand New Day trailer, and the scene where Spider-Man is fighting the Hand. They're in the jail. They're actually in the jail cell. Could be another clue that Matt Murdock, Daredevil, is going to be in Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Just a little something for you guys to chew on. If I might be in tomorrow, may not. May have to take a long weekend. We'll see. If anything drops, I will try to jump on though. But until tomorrow, just want you guys to know I appreciate you for everybody who comes through tomorrow. Peace.